Alright folks, let's talk about something super important. We're talking about firewalls. Think of the internet like a massive, busy city. Lots of good stuff happens there. But there are also some dodgy characters lurking about. These are your hackers, your viruses, your malware. They all want to sneak into your network. Your network is like your home in this big city. You definitely want to keep those bad guys out, right? That's exactly what a firewall does. It's your digital front door, all locked up. A firewall is basically a security guard for your computer network. It watches all the traffic coming in and going out. Imagine tiny cars of data zipping back and forth. The firewall checks each car. It looks at where it's from and where it's going. If a car looks suspicious or if it's trying to go somewhere it shouldn't, the firewall stops it. This is vital. It prevents unauthorized access to your private information. It keeps your personal files safe and sound. It's your first line of defense. Without a firewall, your network is wide open. It's like leaving your front door unlocked in that busy city. Anyone could just wander in. Hackers could try to steal your passwords. They could get your bank details. Nasty viruses could infect your computers. They can slow everything down or even delete your precious photos and documents. This can cause massive headaches. It can cost you a lot of money and time to fix. So having a firewall isn't just a good idea, it's essential. So to put it simply, firewalls are crucial. They protect your computers, your phones, and all your connected devices. They act as a barrier between your safe internal network and the often unpredictable internet. They help to prevent cyber attacks. They keep your sensitive data secure. They give you peace of mind. Understanding how to install one properly is a key skill for any ICT technician. It's also great knowledge for anyone who uses the internet. Let's get into how to set one up. First things first, you need to prepare. Don't just jump into installing a firewall. A bit of planning goes a long way. You need to figure out what kind of firewall you need. There are two main types. You have hardware firewalls and software firewalls. Hardware firewalls are separate physical boxes. They plug into your network. Software firewalls are programs you install on your computers. Each has its pros and cons. We need to look at those. Hardware firewalls are great for protecting an entire network. They sit between your internet connection, like your modem, and your router or switch. All your internet traffic passes through this box. This means every device on your network gets a layer of protection. They are often seen as more robust for overall network security. Many modern routers actually have a basic hardware firewall built right in, so you might already have one. Check your router's specifications to see. Software firewalls, on the other hand, are installed directly onto individual computers. Your Windows or Mac OS operating system usually comes with one built in. Think of Windows Defender Firewall. These are good for protecting the specific device they are on. They can control which programs on your computer are allowed to access the internet. This is useful. It can stop malware that has somehow slipped onto one PC from spreading easily. They offer a more granular level of control for specific applications. So, which one do you choose? Often, the best answer is both. Using a hardware firewall for your whole network and software firewalls on each computer provides layers of security. This is called defense in depth. Before you pick one, check your requirements. How many devices do you need to protect? What's your budget? What level of technical skill do you have for managing it? For most home users, a good router with a built-in firewall plus the operating system's firewall is a solid start. Businesses might need more advanced dedicated hardware. Okay, let's get to the exciting part. Installation. We'll cover both hardware and software firewalls. Let's start with a hardware firewall. If you've bought a separate hardware firewall device, the setup is usually straightforward. First, power everything down. That means your modem, your router, and your computers. Safety first, always. Then you'll usually connect the hardware firewall between your modem and your router. There will be a port labeled WAN or Internet and ports labeled LAN. The cable from your modem, which brings the internet into your house, plugs into the WAN port of the firewall. Then you take another network cable, plug one end into a LAN port on the firewall, plug the other end into the WAN or Internet port on your router. Once all the cables are securely connected, you can power things back on. Turn on the modem first, wait for it to fully connect, then turn on the firewall, wait again, then turn on your router. Finally, turn on your computers. For software firewalls, it's a bit different. If you're using the one built into your operating system, like Windows Defender Firewall, it's usually enabled by default. You might just need to check its settings. To install a third-party software firewall, you first download the installer file from the manufacturer's website. Always download from official sources. This avoids getting a fake version with malware. Save the file to your computer. Then, double-click the installer file to begin the installation process. Follow the on-screen prompts carefully. The installer will guide you through the steps. You might need to agree to a license agreement. You might be asked where you want to install the program. Usually, the default settings are fine for most users. Once the installation is complete, you'll likely need to restart your computer. This allows the firewall to integrate properly with your system. After restarting, the software firewall should be active and protecting your computer. Always check its status icon in your system tray. Right, your firewall is installed. But how do you know it's actually working? You need to test it. Don't just assume it's all good. For software firewalls, a simple test is to try and access a program that needs the internet. The firewall might pop up a message. It will ask if you want to allow that program to connect. This shows it's monitoring traffic. You can also go into the firewall settings. Look for logs or status indicators. These can tell you if it's blocking anything. For hardware firewalls, or for a more thorough test, you can use online port scanners. These are websites that try to connect to common ports on your network from the outside. If your firewall is working correctly, these scans should show your ports as closed or stealth. This means the firewall is blocking unsolicited incoming connections. Be careful with these tools. Only use reputable ones. Some tools can be used for dodgy reasons, so stick to well-known security testing sites. Configuration is also key. The default settings are usually a good starting point, but you might want to tweak them. For example, you can create specific rules. You might want to block access to certain websites, or allow a specific game to connect online. This is done through the firewall's control panel or management interface. For hardware firewalls, you usually access this by typing its IP address into a web browser. For software firewalls, you open the program itself. Read the manual if you're unsure. Finally, remember that security is an ongoing process. It's not a set-it-and-forget-it thing. Keep your firewall's software or firmware updated. Manufacturers release updates to patch security holes and improve features. Regularly check your firewall logs if you can. This helps you see if there have been any suspicious attempts to access your network. By preparing properly, installing carefully, configuring wisely, and testing thoroughly, you create a much safer digital environment for yourself. Stay vigilant, folks.